and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing the Missing Glassware Rag review. I usually have a special rag that I use to clean my glassware, but last night I misplaced it and now I can't find it. But as you can see from behind me, my room is always a cataclysmic disaster area because I have this gigantic bed which takes up about, I'd say, 50% of my floor space here. Not my choice, by the way, to go and put a queen-size bed in a 10-foot by 12-foot room. So, yeah, that's what's new. Anyways, I'm going to be reviewing something that I've drank before. I could have sworn that I have reviewed, but apparently I haven't. And this is, of course, Deschutes Black Butte Porter. I drink quite a bit of Deschutes because Deschutes is cheap and easily available in Hawaii. Easily available. I found this at a really grody Chinese convenience store on Bay Drive. Basically a place with no working AC. There's an old grandpa behind the counter, and like his wife is like sleeping on a cot behind the counter over there. Apparently so she can go and cover like the next 8-hour shift or something like that. Freezers are like so bust up and dirty you can't see inside them. You have to open to see it. And yet, oddly enough, they had this in there, and what do you know, it was actually very decently priced for, you know, a convenience store out in the middle of nowhere. And also not ancient either. So, this is Black Butte Porter, obviously a porter, 5.2 ABV, pretty much average strength. One thing, bottle conditioned. I didn't look that up. I think that's something that's changed recently. It was forced carbonated before, now it's bottle conditioned. Important to know in case you're like me and sensitive to live yeast. Drinking live yeast tends to give me a very upset colon. So always be careful and make sure when you're drinking something that's bottle conditioned to always leave that last little bit in there. Unless you want to go and poison everyone in the room or something like that. So I've let this warm up a little bit. Perfect. A couple fingers of nice thick beige to light brown foam. Fairly opaque, just a slight reddish brown. That's where light's passing through on the bottom there. Nice notes of sweet chocolate. Hints of coffee underneath that as part of the roasted malt backbone. Some hints of raisins and dried currants, but not much. Mostly I would say good milk chocolate and coffee, almost a mocha-like smell to the nose. Light and velvety on the palate. A bit carbonated for a porter, but bottle conditioned is what you can expect with the bottle conditioning, is to usually have some pretty lively carbonation in there. Toasted graininess and chocolatiness in the front. Finish, a hint of bittering hops and a nice roastiness. Almost like a nice black blonde roast coffee. You know, light to medium roast coffee in the mid to finish. And a hint of sweetness throughout that's more than balanced by the roasted malt's bitterness and that touch of hoppiness in the finish. All in all, pretty exquisitely balanced. Hints of cola and dried fruit in the mid. Also touch of that sort of cola aftertaste in the finish as well. The lingering sensation is almost like, lingering finish is almost like coffee. Again, I'm saying all these things, but all of them are fairly light. They're not amped up as it would be in the stout. So all in all, still pretty refreshing, as a 5.2 beer should be, and as a porter should be. Porter being a very common style and not one that's really used often to push the envelope like imperial stouts and American stouts often are. I'd have to say this one's a pretty good one for being a quintessential porter in the American style. I don't know enough about the British style porters to say, but I do know that they kind of have their own tradition going on there. Lovely and drinkable. So, if you're a beer drinker who's never had a porter before, I don't know how you've not had a porter yet, considering it's a very common style. But if you're on the West Coast looking for a porter, you want something that's not going to be, too expensive or a real coin flip. You want something that you can find pretty easily? Look into this one. And like I say, it's pretty much a quintessential porter. Balanced, tasty, and refreshing. That's our beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.